أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم فرجع موسى إلى قومه غضبان أسفا قال يا قوم ألم يعدكم ربكم وعدا حسنا أفطال عليكم العهد أم أردتم أن يحل عليكم غضب من ربكم فأخلفتم موعدي قالوا ما أخلفنا موعدك بملكنا ولكننا حملنا أوزارا من زينة القوم فقذفناها فكذلك ألقى السامري فأخرج لهم عجلا جسدا له خوار فقالوا هذا إلهكم وإله موسى فنسي أفلا يرون ألا يرجع إليهم قولا ولا يملك لهم ضرا ولا نفعا ولقد قال لهم هارون من قبل يا قوم إنما فتنتم به وإن ربكم الرحمن فاتبعوني وأطيعوا أمري قالوا لن نبرح عليه عاكفين حتى يرجع إلينا موسى. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. الحمد لله حمدا يوافي نعمه ويكافئ مزيده، وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما يا كريم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. رب زدني علما رب زدني علما رب زدني علما. اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وأنت تجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, فَرَجَعَ مُوسَى إِلَىٰ قَوْمِهِ غَضْبَانَ أَسِفًا. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told Musa alayhi salam the results of him coming early to the appointment with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah now again shortens the story. If you notice, many times in this particular narrative, Allah goes to one scene and then skips a couple of scenes and then goes to another scene and skips a couple of scenes and then goes to a third scene and so on and so forth. And that's why when you look at books which are related to Qasas al-Quran, the stories of the Quran, Qisas al-Quran, the stories of the Quran, Qasas al-Quran, the narratives of the Quran, right? So when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks, He speaks in this way, but those books, they end up gathering the different passages and sort of putting them together. So they fill in the blanks, right? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not giving you a storybook. The Quran is not a storybook. Allah simply quotes the stories in the Quran, each of them for a ibrah, each of them for a certain lesson that you can take from it. So if that lesson is done, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will flip the page to another story, then another story, and so on and so forth. So the story is not meant to be a complete narrative, it's simply meant to be a portion. And one of the ways Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does this is to use the word fa, which means then such and such happened, almost showing that some portions of the story were skipped in the middle. فَرَجَعَ مُوسَى إِلَىٰ قَوْمِهِ. Now the rest of the conversation was not discussed over here in the story. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, now Musa alayhi salam returned back to his people. غَضْبَانَ أَسِفًا. Angry and aggrieved. Because he's heard now that Samiri has led them to disbelief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by creating a calf. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him, وَأَضَلَّهُمُ السَّامِرِي, and Samiri has led them to disbelief, right? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Musa alayhi salam was extremely angry for this reason, and he was also very aggrieved as well. So in one way he's angry at his people, in the other way he's sad that these people, I left them on belief and I worked so hard to try to hope from Allah that Allah guides them. Allah finally guided them, and I left them for a few days and they're now gone astray. So he goes back to them and he says, قال يا قوم ألم يعدكم ربكم وعدا حسنا Hasn't Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised you a great promise that He's going to give you this, that and the other, and that when you are freed from the people of Egypt and the Coptics, then you'll be granted kaita wa kait, such and such, right? Weren't these great promises from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Wa'adan hasana, very beautiful promises from Allah, very lucrative deals from Allah. All you had to do was listen to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All you had to do was actually just remain guided upon the guidance upon which I left you for just a few more days, and that's it, you would have finished. But you people chose to leave the guidance in a matter of just a few days. Musa alayhi salam's appointment was 30 days and then it was increased a little bit more. So it wasn't even a complete 2 months, and now you guys are already misguided. Subhanallah. So he's really angry and enraged and aggrieved at the same time. أَفَطَالَ عَلَيْكُمُ الْعَهْدُ أَمْ أَرَدْتُمْ أَنْ يَحِلَّ عَلَيْكُمْ غَضَبٌ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ. Has the ahad, has the appointment become too long for you? Has the time of wait become too long for you? Was that too long of a time for you to wait 40 odd days? Right? أَمْ أَرَدْتُمْ, or what you were actually looking for was that the wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be brought upon you. So you actually wished for the wrath of Allah to be brought upon you. Because in order for you to be granted the grants of Allah that He had promised you, and very, very lucratively so, all you had to do was be patient for just a few more days. I would have been back and Allah would have fulfilled those promises. Because you saw Allah fulfill the promise when it came to the staff. You saw Allah fulfill the promise when it came to the hand. You saw that after the 9 miracles that I was given, finally the people of Fir'aun had a plague within them and they were dying fast. You saw that we were able to take the river and we were able to take the gulf and it opened up for us and we walked right through it. You saw all of those things, and now you disbelieve in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala after seeing all of those signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Musa alayhi salam is mad. He said, أَمْ أَرَدْتُمْ أَنْ يَحِلَّ عَلَيْكُمْ غَضَبٌ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ. Or was it you simply wanting for the ghadab of Allah to come upon you? فَأَخْلَفْتُمْ مَوْعِدِي. So you ended up breaking my promise. You didn't wait for the date and the appointment that I told you I will be back in. قَالُوا, they said, they've got lots of things to say. مَا أَخْلَفْنَا مَوْعِدَكَ. We did not break our promise with you, O Musa. We didn't break any promises. Look at this. بِمَلْكِنَا. We didn't break our promises with you, O Musa alayhi salam, because of our own choice and our free will. There were people forcing us. As if people can force you into disbelief, especially if you're such a large number. And look at who they think forced them into disbelief. Samiri, single-handedly, along with a couple of other stooges that mixed up with Samiri and started following the lead of a Samiri, just a few people ended up bringing all of these people into submission of their belief and their creeds. This can't really be, but they're making excuses. ما أخلفنا على موعدك بملكنا ولكننا حملنا أوزارا من زينة القوم فقذفناها فكذلك ألقى السامري. We didn't want to do this, O Musa alayhi salam. We didn't do this because of our own free will. But what happened was, we ended up being granted حملنا أوزارا. We took along with us, when we were in Egypt, we took along with us a lot of gold, okay? What they did was, they cheated the people of Egypt. They said to them, look, we have some sort of party to go to and so on and so forth. Is it possible if we can borrow your jewelry, right? So they cheated the people of Egypt, and that's how they stole a lot of jewelry from Egypt. And they weren't supposed to do that. So it's not permissible for them to keep this. And they felt internally bad, or Samiri used a trick and made them feel bad about it. So they all took this particular gold and they threw it into the fire. Now, as they were not looking, as they were no longer by the fire, Samiri took all this gold, and what did he do with it? They said, فَكَذَلِكَ أَلْقَى السَّامِرِ. Even Samiri did the same thing. He took the gold and threw it in there. Allah continues and He completes the story and completes the narrative, and He brings that fa again, in which a number of events are skipped. So He says, فَأَخْرَجَ لَهُمْ عِجْلًا جَسَدًا لَهُ خُوَارٍ. That He ended up taking from this particular gold that amassed in the fire, He ended up collecting all of this gold and made it into a jasad. He made it into a body. He made it into a sculpture. And he poked some holes as he was making the sculpture of a golden calf, and he made it so that when he blows into it from one end, a sound of looing or a sound of a calf occurs, right? That's خوار. فأخرج لهم جسدا له خوار. فأخرج لهم عجلا جسدا له خوار. فقالوا, they said, هذا إلهكم وإله موسى. So when they saw the calf, they fell for it, because they were used to worshipping cows anyways, and they were coming from a culture, the people of Egypt, they were used to worshipping the cow. So when they saw the calf, and the calf happens to also be from gold, and the golden calf is actually mooing as well, so they thought, this must be a miracle, this must be God Himself, this must be God incarnated into this particular golden creature. And so they started worshipping Him, and they didn't even stop there. They started to say, إِلَهُكُمْ وَإِلَهُ Musa. He's your Lord and also the Lord of Musa, but Musa couldn't find Him. فَنَسِي, he forgot. Okay? Remember Musa alayhi salam, he ended up leaving his people and moved faster so that he could get to the meeting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by Jabal al-Tur, or by Jabal Sina, or Tur Sina. So now Samiri and some of those people who got fooled by Samiri into worshipping this calf and were deluded by Samiri, they started telling the people that, hey, this is your God, and this is the God of Musa alayhi salam as well, the same one that he wanted to go meet. And what happened is he simply forgot. He forgot. The God was over here, he got lost, you'll find him. A couple of days later, you'll find him coming in this direction, and he'll be worshipping the same God, this golden creature that I've made, this golden calf that I've made. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala replies. Now Allah brings His own jumla i'tiradiyya, meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cuts the conversation off from both ends, and He says, I have something to say. أَفَلَا يَرَوْنَ, do they not see? أَلَّا يَرْجِعُ إِلَيْهِمْ قَوْلًا وَلَا يَمْلِكُ لَهُمْ ضَرًّا وَلَا نَفْعًا. Do they not see that this particular creature that they have, this animal, this calf, this golden statue, it doesn't say anything back to them when they speak. وَلَا يَمْلِكُ لَهُمْ ضَرًّا وَلَا نَفْعًا. And neither is it able to harm them, nor does it benefit them in any way. Can they not notice all these things? These are all intellectual proofs to say that what you are saying, O people, must be wrong. Because this particular animal, neither does it speak, nor does it harm, nor does it help, nor does it aid. None of these things. So whenever you see someone worshipping other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, especially something they put together with their own hands, the question, the most intellectual and obvious question to ask is, do you not see that He can't speak, and that He cannot help you, and He cannot harm you? In fact, He can't even ward off harm from upon Himself as well. Allah continues and He says, وَلَقَدْ قَالَ لَهُمْ هَارُونَ. So now the intellectual proof is out of the way, because that's the most important proof. In addition to that, there was also a guidance from the messenger that came as well. Intellectual proof and textual proof. Meaning intellectual proof, i.e. the statement that Allah made, saying that did they not see that He can't speak, it can't harm, and it can't benefit. In fact, Allah said it doesn't even own harm and benefit, because it can't harm and benefit itself as well. It cannot even do that, let alone harm or benefit other people. So the second proof is now the proof that is almost textual, because messengers get from Allah Azza wa Jal, right? So it's a proof that the messenger had also spoken to them. So the messenger had spoken to them verbally, and the intellect should have also spoken to them. Allah continues and He says, وَلَقَدْ قَالَ لَهُمْ هَارُونُ مِنْ قَبْلُ يَا قَوْمِ إِنَّمَا فُتِنْتُمْ بِهِ. Harun said to them before, "O my people, إِنَّمَا فُتِنْتُمْ بِهِ." What's happened is, you have been placed into a trial through this. And the way he put it is very beautiful. He doesn't want to offend them. He doesn't want to say, your souls are the ones who have fallen for it. You have been tried by it. So Samiri is the one to blame. He's simply putting you through a trial and a test to see what you're going to do, right? So he's putting the blame in his words on As-Samiri. This is how some of the scholars of tafsir explain this particular innama over here. That the only thing that's happening is in reality, Samiri is the one who is trying you, and you shouldn't fall for the traps of Samiri. وَإِنَّ رَبَّكُمُ الرَّحْمَنِ. And on the other hand, your Lord, remember your Lord, He's trying to lure them in. He's trying to reel them into this particular fact that your Lord is in fact Allah Azza wa Jal. Just till yesterday you used to believe in that. Your Lord is ever merciful as well. If you've fallen for the trap of Samiri today, at least let it go now, because your Lord is ever merciful. Ar-Rahman, the one who is ever merciful. فَاتَّبِعُونِي. So follow me instead of worshipping this calf, the golden statued calf. وَأَطِيعُوا أَمْرِي. And follow my commandment. قالوا, they said, لَن نَبْرَحَ عَلَيْهِ عَاكِفِينَ حَتَّى يَرْجِعَ إِلَيْنَا مُوسَى. They said, you know what? We're going to continue doing this until Musa alayhi salam gets back here. When Musa alayhi salam gets, they're making excuses now. They're saying when Musa alayhi salam gets back, we're going to stop. Now the difference here is between Musa and Harun. Harun could say, well, I'm a prophet as well. Musa alayhi salam had a personality of a leader. Harun alayhi salam may have been more eloquent than Musa, but the leadership skills of Musa were obvious. They were very clear that he had a very strong personality. You think about it. Even when Fir'aun is speaking, he's speaking, Musa alayhi salam is the one speaking to him because he's got the strong persona, he's got that strong personality that places other people into a natural form of followership, of becoming sheep, if you so please, right? They end up naturally inclining to following him. There's people like that out there who naturally have such a strong personality that people end up following them whether they want them to follow or not, right? Because they've got this strong personality, leadership skills. So Musa alayhi salam had that. And so they said that when Musa gets back, we're going to get back at it again. Forget this calf. This is just temporary. Right now we don't have a God. Right? In their minds they're saying something along these lines. We don't have a God, so we're going to continue doing this until Musa alayhi salam gets back. When he gets back, then we'll find out if what our leaders and what Samiri is saying, that this particular calf, the statue, that is the golden statue, this statue is actually the God of Musa and your God as well. We'll find out for Musa at that time whether what Samiri is telling us is true or not. Of course, they found out obviously that it's not true because of the anger that Musa alayhi salam had and because of how aggrieved he was as well. Musa alayhi salam continues. قال, Allah quotes, قال يا هارون ما منعك. O Harun, ما منعك إذ رأيتهم ضلوا أفعصيت إذ رأيتهم ضلوا ألا تتبعا أفعصيت أمري. O Harun, what is it that stopped you from stopping them? What is it that stopped you from following me? Okay, not stopping. What is it that stopped you from following me when you saw them being led astray? ما منعك إذ رأيتهم ضلوا ألا تتبعا. What is it that was stopping you, O Musa, O Harun alayhi salam, that you leave them aside and you end up coming towards me? You knew exactly where I was and you knew where the appointment was. Why did you remain with these people who are worshipping other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continuously throughout your term? You could have simply come and joined my ranks and then we would have come together and we would have taken care of it in one shot. أَلَّا تَتَّبِعًا أَفَعَصَيْتَ أَمْرِي. Were you disobeying my commandments? Were you disobeying my commandments in that you should be looking after the people of Israel? Were you disobeying my commandments in that you should be also ensuring that if they end up disobeying you, then you have to come back and tell me and report to me so that I can come back and sort things out? Were you disobeying my commandments in all of these things? Now Musa alayhi salam is really angry, so much so that Allah, when He continues, and when Harun alayhi salam continues and he says, Yabna O son of my mother. He's trying to sort of bring love between him and his brother. He's saying, we're from the same mother at the end of the day. So just take it easy on me. Don't become so harsh. Yabna umma. O mother, O son of my mother. La ta'khudh bi lihyati wa la bi ra'si. Do not hold me by my lihya. Do not hold me by my beard. Wa la bi ra'si. And don't hold me by my head as well. Okay? So some scholars, they explain that what actually happened was that Harun alayhi salam had a beard, okay? So when Musa alayhi salam came, he grabbed him like this, out of severe anger, and from the other side by the head, kind of like this, like, this is the type of gesture that I learned from some of my teachers. And in either case, what he did definitely is he grabbed the beard and he grabbed the hair as well. So definitely this was a state of anger, and that of course to a grown man, and on top of that a prophet as well. This is a very, very humiliating position to be in. So Harun alayhi salam understood the anger as well, because it's a matter to get angry. He's a prophet as well. He knows what happens within the mind of a prophet when he sees someone other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala being worshipped. So he didn't lose his cools, right? He kept calm and he said, "Oh child of my mother, لا تأخذ بلحيتي, don't hold me by my lihya, and don't hold me by my beard, and don't hold me by my head. I'll tell you what happened." This is what happened. Listen to this very, very carefully. Very carefully. He said, إني خشيت, I was afraid, أن تقول فرقت بين بني إسرائيل ولم ترقب قولي. I was very afraid that you're going to come back to me and you're going to say to me that you have divided between Bani Israel. You've divided between the Israelites. وَلَمْ تَرْقُبْ قَوْلِي, and you didn't listen to my statement, and you didn't listen to my advice to you. Okay? Now, what is happening over here? The difference of opinion that occurred between the Israelites and the Israelites was a group of people said that our Lord happens to be this golden calf right here. Another group of people said, no, our Lord cannot be a calf. That's what the people of the Pharaoh used to do, but we are a different people. We worship God, we have a messenger, and so on and so forth. So we're going to follow the lead of our messengers, right? So there's two narratives occurring over here. One of them is a narrative of a group of people who wish to worship Allah and none other than Allah. Another is a narrative of a group of people who have fell for the traps of Samiri. So it's not a joking matter here. The matter is the matter of belief and disbelief, okay? These are people who are literally worshipping other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, in the light of this factor, now that you know the difference of opinion that occurred in the Israelites, they are now worshipping other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Harun alayhi salam said that I was afraid that you will say, فَرَّقْتَ بَيْنَ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلِ وَلَمْ تَرْقُبْ قَوْلِي. I was afraid that you will say, you have divided between the Israelites. If I walk to you, O Musa alayhi salam, and I came to you by the Tur, by the Jabal of Sina, of Turi Sinin, if I came there to you, you would have told me that you've now divided up the Israelites because you've brought 12,000 odd men along with you, and the rest of them you've left them there. Now when we go back, they're going to go to war with us, and they're going to go into a battle with us, right? So Harun alayhi salam is preferring unity even if some of the people happen to be disbelieving in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? Because he realized that Musa alayhi salam, when he gets back, he's such a strong leader that he's going to be able to lead all, if not all, at least most of the people out of that disbelief. So he chooses to remain united with the people of Israel who were now worshipping other than Allah. All of that, so when Musa alayhi salam returns back, right, he will be able to unite everyone, and that is the reasoning he gives as well. Now I know some people try to twist this word for their own personal, they don't like the message of unity, so they say, no, this verse doesn't really mean that. Read it yourself. Harun alayhi salam is saying, I'm afraid you are going to say you have divided the people. Because if I started fighting against them, and if I started telling them, if I started basically becoming too loud against dissent against the popular view at that time, what would have happened is people would have been divided, right? There would be a group with me, another group with Samiri. So I thought, let's just wait till you come and you sort things out because you're a stronger leader, right? So he's willing to live temporarily, not forever, willing to live temporarily in a circumstance which actually has within it disbelief. Not for himself, he's not worshipping other than Allah, not for his people, but he's willing to keep himself silent. Now, what I'm trying to get to over here is the fact that people today, some people today, they are not willing to remain silent on something which is a legitimate difference of opinion, let alone something which happens to be so grave and so serious. The reality is we have to judge every single situation in its specific scenario with all the different circumstances that surround it. Sometimes we have to remain silent, even if there happens to be some evil there. Yes, that's true. One may say, oh no, you didn't know the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ that, yes, I know the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. I know the ayat of Al-Amr al-Ma'ruf as well, right? But this is Harun alayhi salam, a messenger, and he knows better than both of us. But he decided to remain silent for a little while because he knew that when the time is right, then we'll be able to solve this particular problem. قَالَ فَمَا خَطْبُكَ يَا سَامِرِي. So Musa alayhi salam now said that, what is your story, O Samiri? And to learn inshaAllah more about the story or the side of Samiri, we'll continue on in our next episode inshaAllah ta'ala. Jazakumullahu khairan for listening. Please join us. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.